Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So this will be our first chapter for SEC2823 something 2383. Okay, sorry. Right. So our first chapter, we will first be talking about the concept of language. You need to understand that in order to teach English, kalau you nak ajar English lah kan, you must first understand how language work. It's the same like with any other subject. Kalau you nak ajar, you need to first understand how it works. Like for example, mathematics. If you want to teach mathematics, you need to understand the formula first. You need to understand how it works, mana campur, tolak, darab, semua tu lah, formula and everything. So it's the same with language as well. In order to teach English, you need to understand that language ni, it is something that is complex. It is a complex system for creating meaning. This is very important to remember. It is a language ni is a complex system. Selalunya kita ambil mudah je kan language ni, but you have to remember language ni is something that is very complex. Macam bahasa English ni, you have past tense, present tense, present continuous, past continuous. It is a very complex system that we use. Kita gunakan sistem ni to make meaning, right? Now this meaning right here is shared with other people. So we together, okay, we together as human beings, as society, we have decided benda yang keluar daripada mulut kita ni ada makna dia sendiri. If I say I, you terus faham I itu maksudnya saya. Okay, that is a very unique thing lah about language. Okay, so we have decided together as a society that whatever combination of sounds that come out of our mouth are either meaningful or not. You can say something gibberish, blah 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 blah. You tak faham lah, sebab itu tak ada dalam sistem. Dia tak ada meaning. Yeah. And for other languages pun it's the same as well, not just English. Ni bahasa Melayu pun it still applies to bahasa Melayu. Bahasa Melayu is also a complex system that we use to create meaning. If I say ayah, okay, you tahu ayah tu refer to your father. If I say ibu, you tahu ibu tu refer to your mother. Dia bukan macam bunyi je, dia ada meaning. Okay, so bunyi ni it forms word, and then the words form sentences. Okay, alright. Now let's go to the 4 cueing system. So the organization of language is made possible through the 4 cueing system. So language ni, system language ni, dia organized through 4 system. The first one is phonology. Phonology ni bunyi Phonology ni bunyi. Nanti kita cover lah b, c, semua tu nanti kita cover. Okay, so phonology refers to sound. Tak ada bunyi, there is no language. Okay, tapi kan sign language pun tak ada bunyi juga kan. Yeah, never mind, we're talking about English here. Okay, and then syntactic or structural system. Okay, the second one is syntactic. Syntactic ni is basically we are referring to grammar. Okay, so syntactic, we are referring to grammar. Then the third one is semantic. Semantic here is meaning. So ada bunyi, susunan dia in grammar, and then ada makna. There must be meaning in language. And then finally pragmatic. Pragmatic ni we are referring to social and cultural use of language. What does it mean by this? It means that in certain languages, certain words are not really acceptable. Macam for us, let's say orang Melaka cakap, orang Kelantan cakap nate buruk. That is actually very offensive in Kelantan. Kalau dekat Melaka kita gelak je kan. Like me for Melakan kan, I think lawak ni macam buruk. But for Kelantanese is actually quite offensive. Okay. So that's the difference here. Pragmatic ni depends on social structure. Kalau you pergi ke you go to what ada example gitu. Oh, never mind lah, nanti yang Kelantan tu je dulu Okay. Right. So I have asked you to answer this question, the difference between L1 and L2. So L1 ni, kalau saya cakap L1, I'm referring to first language. So language 1, first language. Kalau L2 ni maknanya language number 2, second language. Okay. So first language ni is basically the first language that you acquire. To us, orang Melayu ni, obviously kita first language is bahasa Melayu. And then our second language is probably English. Okay. Now, L1 is determined by the person's surroundings. Okay. So if let's say someone is Chinese, then most probably dia cakap bahasa Cina, first language. And then if someone is from Korea, okay, South Korean, they will probably speak Korean. And then second language ni, it is usually the language that we learn. In some cases, it is a language yang they are very lucky, dia belajar bersama dengan first language. Ini nanti we will learn in bilingual, what is it called? Bilingual studies or something. So second language refers to the second language, and then it often depends on the environment. So people who, like in Malaysia, we are very unique. For our non-Malays, they have their first language, and then second language probably between Malay and English, and then third language pun ada, either Malay or English. Okay, so in Malaysia, yeah, this is something that I want to highlight. In Malaysia, English is officially made as the second language of the country. Now, second language ni maknanya you boleh cakap macam bahasa Melayu lah. Your English should be as good as your bahasa Melayu. Okay. Right. So should be no problem lah. Should be no problem. Okay. Then language acquisition. Now, language acquisition is basically, we are talking here about the theories of language acquisition. So there are three main theory tau. Teori ni basically andaian lah. Teori andaian, how we acquire language. How do we actually get language? So there are three main theories. Behaviorist, nativist, and interactionist. So there are three main theories on how kita dapat language ni. Macam mana kita boleh dapat language ni? Kita serap je ke, atau kita belajar ke benda tu? So there are three main theories here, and this will be your task for today. I will share with it in the Google Classroom. Okay. Right, so that's all for this video.